Hello, my name is Michael O'Keefe, aka The Movie Wizard. If you enjoy this interview and want to hear more top-notch film industry conversations, please press the thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, and hit the bell to stay in the know. Hello, David Cross. Before we talk about your new movie, The Dark Divide, tell me what you've been up to at home for fun, just for fun, during coronavirus.
I've been making an exact replica of my house inside my house, but I want to be off by 4 inches to give myself a little wiggle room.
Okay. All right, well, that's fun. All right. Well, tell my audience why they might enjoy The Dark Divide.
I was just talking about this. I think it is particularly helpful, enjoyable, necessary in the times we're in, and things aren't as awful in Canada as they are in the U.S. And that goes for the pandemic as well. And I happen to be in a relatively safe state, but it's a nice 90-minute little respite from the horrors that are outside of our windows that some people can't even access because, if you're locked into your house or your fifth floor walk up or your apartment or wherever you happen to be, it's nice to be able to go spend 90 minutes in a kind of quiet, peaceful, contemplative, and beautiful film. I mean, the cinematography is pretty stunning and the locations are crazy, crazy, beautiful and gorgeous. So it's a nice reminder of what's waiting out there for us eventually.
It's a feel-good David Cross.
Sure. Okay.
So I did not recognize Debra Messing at all in this movie.
Yeah. Hair and makeup did an amazing job. Transferred her to a dying woman.
What was she like in between takes? Did you guys have fun, or was she so intense the entire time?
She's pretty intense, and understandably, she has a different process than I do, and I certainly wanted to honor that and help her get to where she had to get to, which is, she's dying and racked in pain, and so in those scenes where she's in severe remission, I mean that I let her do what she had to do for her to get there. So there wasn't a lot of like joking around when we were shooting that stuff, but in the other stuff, it was cool and playful for sure.
Mm-hmm. So you don't do the method acting thing. That's not David Cross.
No, not really. That's not my approach. And I got to say, I got kind of lucky in the way that the shooting was sequenced, because at some of the more emotional parts, like I had been shooting, and this is a really hard movie to shoot. It was a very low budget DIY. We were shooting in the woods where you would, we'd take vehicles to where you couldn't drive them anymore, and it would stop at the base of a mountain or whatever, and then we'd have to take equipment. There's no electricity or cell phone service or internet or anything like that, and it's not like you can set up a trailer or craft services or whatever. And we're lugging that stuff in a mile in, to the interior to get some of these shots. And by the time we shot some of those more emotional scenes, I mean, I was, this movie beat the shit out of me, and it was really hard. And so I was able to kind of access that thing that you need to convey a little bit easier, as opposed to if it had been on, day 2 and I was going back to my hotel room and having a nice bath or whatever. So
sure.
that was helpful.
How did you prepare for this role?
Outside of meeting with a survivalist and going to the to some of the places where we were going to be shooting and learning how to put together a tent and things like that, and starting to read the real Dr. Pyle's book. This is based on a true story. And then meeting with Dr. Pyle and hanging out with him. That was it, pretty much. I mean, I actually stopped reading his book until we were done shooting because I told the director this because it was starting to bump with how I wanted to play him, and I play him a more naive and incompetent than he really is in real life. I mean, I played him a little bit more ignorant with how he would cope if he went on this journey, which he did. And I just made him a little, as I said, more naive.
Okay. I was wondering, did you enjoy working with Steven Spielberg for The Post? And did he purposely make that a Mr. Show reunion movie?
I loved working with Steven Spielberg. That's one of the highlights of my life, if not career. No, I should say career, if not life. Yeah. Yeah, he's awesome. He's so cool. And the Mr. Show thing was a complete nobody.
That was a coincidence?
It was a complete coincidence.
Wow.
And we were told by one of the producers and the casting woman not to say anything because it might make him go, oh, well, I don't want this.
Right.
This context there or or
idiosyncratic reference. Yeah.
Yeah, to get in the way of this thing. So we were told not to mention anything, and he didn't know. He had no idea. But yeah, the very first day of shooting was pretty funny because he kept, you'd kind of go into, Tom Hanks's office or, Ben Bradley's office or if we were out on the floor and you rehearse it and you just sort of put yourself somewhere. And then he kind of, he's like, oh no, Bob, why don't you go over, stand next to David. And that happened consistently throughout the first day of shooting. We did like 3 scenes where he kept moving Bob and I together, and we would look at each other going, all right, this is cool.
I love the reference, even though it was totally unintentional. That's great. Okay. So what's the possibility of future Arrested Development episodes?
Oh, I don't think that's going to happen.
No? Why not?
Oh, several reasons, I think.
Okay.
It's not going to happen.
Oh, that's too bad. I remember seeing video of you complaining about Fox and how they marketed the show, and that was pretty funny.
Oh, yeah, during the first 3 years. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I think they did a terrible job, clearly. But, yeah, this is it's not. It's over.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I don't think I even saw the last season.
Well, okay, there you go.
There you go. But it's too bad.
If you're so disappointed, guess what? There's a 5th season you can go watch. There is more. Just for you, Michael. Just for you.
Did you enjoy doing Grand Theft Auto San Andreas?
Yeah, I did.
That was fun.
That was fun. Not a fun mission of an annoying character and an even more annoying mission that I had to cheat at because I try not to cheat. It was a very difficult mission. It was difficult, and I couldn't stand to listen to my annoying voice anymore. It really was bothersome. I know it bothered other people too. I don't blame them. Truly,
it didn't bother me. I enjoyed it. So I've enjoyed your stand-up, and I was wondering, who do you think is currently the king of stand-up in America?
Oh, Chappelle.
Yeah,
for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What are your top favorite 3 favorite roles that you have done personally?
I'd say Cinnamon Raisin, Parker House, and probably Poppy Seed. They're just different roles. Some have butter, some don't. They're baked differently. Some are like kind of brioche. It depends. You'd have to certainly not this. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay. That's fun. All right.
Okay, great. Fantastic.
So, do you ever get stifled by playing a real person, or do you just not care and you're just doing your thing?
I mean, it's a little harder because you have parameters that you have to, exist within, but for the most part, just do your thing. It's my interpretation. And you're looking to your director too to go, is that right? Is that good? Is this close? But yeah.
All right, David Cross, thank you very much for your time. Any final words about The Dark Divide?
Yeah, I just think, especially in these times, and if you're going to be locked in, winter coming and all that, I think it's a nice little vacation for 90 minutes to get away from all the shit that's out there. And it's a beautiful film. It's really stunning. The cinematography is pretty crazy.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your time, David.
All right. Thank you, Michael.